And we are live. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new stream, and that is right. We are live on this beautiful June 22nd, 2026. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm having a great day myself, and we're joined by Real Tech, or not Real Texan, good lord, by Tyrone.
Real Tech Nerd Politics.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was about to say Real Texan, but yeah, we're joined with Tyrone and Luke, the usual suspects. Okay, Tyrone, seriously, stop. That's starting to annoy me. Like, unironically stop.
I've done it twice.
You've been doing it for half an hour now. Good lord.
I joined 3 minutes ago. Fuck off.
Okay, 3 minutes. Sorry. You've been doing it for 3 minutes constantly.
Fucking fucker ass.
Whatever. So, we had some pretty big news. Okay, Tyrone, seriously, stop. So, we had some pretty big news drop earlier today out of the United Kingdom, and, well, this headline says it all. Says it all, yeah. Keir Starmer, rip bozo. Rest in piss. He is finally gone. He resigned earlier today because he was going to get forced out either way. So yeah, Keir Starmer is finally gone. And with that, we are going to get a new prime minister in the United Kingdom.
Andy Burnham.
We'll get to that. And we'll see how that's going to go. Will there be an election called? We shall get to that in a little bit. But before we get into today's stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. All great ways to support the content. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can send super chats via the chat. I will read through as much chat as possible, but usually super chats are the best way to get your questions answered. And also, we'll be talking about the Iran stuff a little bit, and again, publicly execute Luke for being wrong about it.
We are Keir Starmer.
Thank you. All right. So yeah, that's kind of the big headline today. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has officially resigned. We were hearing over the weekend he was going to do this, but now it is official. He had a speech earlier today, and wasn't he crying or something about it? Right?
Well, yeah, I feel bad for the guy. He was like Labor boy. They all loved him. His popularity dipped, and all these people just immediately like threw him out. Like I feel bad for him, actually. You know, like the second his popularity dips, the party just like betrays him. Yeah, I'd be pissed too if that happened to me. I'm not gonna sit here and look. I say he sucked up politics. That's an understatement. But I'm not gonna sit here and say like, how dare he be upset with his party? It's like, no, I understand why he's upset.
No, I understand, but it's kind of funny to think about that. This guy got forced out by his own party, which is just. Listen, I am thankful America does not have this type of system. Can you imagine having a system like this in America where out of nowhere some guy can win a special election and they become like the president or something? It is insane. Or the Speaker of the House. Like,
Yeah, bro.
it is utter insanity that they deal with this, but that's UK. They're up to what? How many speakers now in the last 5 years? Like 4 or
You mean
5?
prime minister?
Prime Minister, excuse me.
Since the past 10 years, they have had David Cameron, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss for like a week, Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer, and now Andy Burnham. That's 7 prime ministers
Jesus.
in 10 years.
You
We
know
have
what?
had 3 presidents.
And by the way,
Obama, Trump, and Biden.
yeah, and by the way, with the whole like prime minister stuff, usually when a country has that much change in leadership over the course of just a couple of years, that's not a good sign. That's usually a indicator of what's going to happen. So it's very unstable what's going on in the UK right now. So
we thought Labor's landslide would kind of bring an end to that, and evidently that's
it made
clear.
it
It's not the
worse.
case. Mhm.
Because at least then it's like, oh, at least this random guy has been in the government for a while. No, this guy just wins a special election and he's the prime minister now, essentially.
To be fair to Andy Burnham, he was the HHS secretary under Gordon Brown. He does have previous experience, and he
Yeah,
was
I
an
know,
MP
but
before. He simply gave it up to be mayor of Manchester for an extended period of
I
time.
get
So it's
that,
not
but
like he's uniquely incompetent or untrained. Like, he is more than capable of doing this job, but it is a rather
it's not a good
bullshit.
sign.
A more competent prime minister, Starmer, in my opinion. And I have a feeling he's going to get along probably better with Trump than Starmer did. For the sole purpose, this guy was like big in the Blair, like during the Blair years, he was like a big advocate of working with Bush. Starmer was like, he was around at the time, and Starmer was very critical of that. Yeah, we're talking like 20 years ago, so things could have changed. But I have a feeling he's a smart guy, so I don't think he's going to try to start needless squabbles with the United States. But he might not be there for too long because
yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to the election stuff because I think it's going to happen now. Usually, when a prime minister gets forced out, they have an election. So
also because he basically said he's going to change up like Starmer's manifesto. He's going to use his own manifesto, which typically you want to go.
You need a mandate for that.
For a mandate. Yeah.
All right. American Nerd for 3. Solo Farage and Reform gonna get a win out of this. We'll get to that in a little bit. Andrew Jones for 2. Starmer resigns as Colombia turns right. Oh, we got to talk about that. That's a huge story. What happened to Colombia? And now you got the president saying like Israel stole the election.
Yeah, they elected a right-wing Instagram influencer. It's great.
But the Israelis stole it, guys. Tyrone, did you know the Jews stole the election in Colombia?
I'm gonna blow a fucking vein on my head if I hear the Jews stole the election one more time. Jesus fucking Christ!
But it's like that's what the guy's saying. It's just sad.
Yeah, I know. He's a retarded third worldist LATAM dictator. Absolutely nothing is surprising in any of this.
Yeah. American Order for 2. What's going on with Iran? Is the deal screwed? We'll get to that in a minute. Pixel Art Productions for 2. Son of a Toolmaker. Oh gosh. American Order for 6. Is the UK Prime Minister chosen similar to how the speakers picked in the House? Not really. It's a little.
No, not at all. I'll explain the system in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's wacky. You got to deal with coalitions and stuff. It's dumb. Daniel for 2. Starmer is I'm guessing retarded, but leftists have no loyalty. Yeah, kind of. Okay, that's kind of it for the super chats. Let's get into the UK stuff because this is a big story. We're not talking about some random country in Africa or something. This is the UK. This is one of our closest allies, and it's a big one. So yeah, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer resigned Monday after weeks of turmoil within his government, setting the country up to find its 7th leader in the last decade. The Labour Party, which Starmer currently leads, must quickly choose a new leader as the UK as it faces an economic crisis tied to the war in Iran, which again, the Iran stuff we'll get to in a second. So yeah, Keir Starmer is gone. And I believe he said he's leaving in September, I think, right?
Okay, this is what I'll say, okay? He will leave once a new Labour leader is selected, which at the latest will be September, but I have a feeling it's going to be a lot quicker than that. I'll explain why. The reason is because basically the leader will get picked by whoever okay, how do I say this? Whoever wins the Labour leadership election. But I have a feeling that Burnham is going to be unopposed for that leadership race. And I'll tell you why. It's because Wes Streeting, who is seen as the guy who is going to kind of challenge Burnham, announced this morning he's supporting Burnham. And in order to run for Labour leader, you have to be a member of parliament. I don't really see any member of parliament that's going to run against Burnham, which means if Burnham is the only guy who announces he's running for prime minister or is running for Labour leader, when the signatures close, he'll become prime minister probably in mid-July. That's
Okay,
what'll
good
end
to
up
know.
happening.
So yeah, he said by September, but it's gonna be earlier.
September,
looks like.
if there's a competitive Labour leadership election, it would last till September. But I don't really anticipate that happening.
All right. Starmer faced calls from members of his own party resign after the disastrous May local elections that saw Labour lose control of the Wales Parliament, record its worst Scottish election results on record, and drop over 1,200 seats in England. Jesus, they lost 1,200 seats. My
Yeah,
God.
the local. Yeah.
Yeah, the local
You
races.
remember we were on stream when that happened, when Reform was making like 60 points.
That's right. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was bad. And for those that don't know, these local elections are kind of the midterms of the UK. So
yeah, that's how they're treated.
Yeah, and it was pretty bad. Imagine like 1984, but even worse, kind of. It was pretty bad. Following the heavy election losses, former Tony Blair era government minister Andy Burnham announced plans to return to Parliament and was last week elected to his seat in Northern England after declaring a vote for me will be a vote to change Labour. So yeah, this Andy Burnham guy, he was part of the Tony Blair government as, what was it again?
He was part of Blair and Gordon's governments.
Was it HHS? Somebody said?
Yeah, he was HHS.
Yeah, so like Tyrone says, it's not some random guy off the street, but I find it funny that a guy elected a week ago can just become the prime minister.
Yeah, I get that.
That is just insane. Imagine we do that here in America. Guys, a random special election in like Wyoming can decide the next speaker of the house or whatever. So yeah, it's a pretty big story, and I want
that would be like a junior senator becoming a cabinet member in like his first or second year of being senator after winning a special election, and then like everyone in the chain of succession is just fucking killed off.
Yeah, and he's like the designated survivor. So yeah, so it is a pretty big deal that they are going to have this, and I want to really talk about how does this impact the current state of the UK, because obviously the UK is a mess right now. I don't think anyone can really dispute that. Does this give Labour a boost in support or no? That's the question. Like, Luke, you're kind of the expert on this.
Okay, I will say yes. Burnham will boost the Labour Party, probably to being in line, if not ahead of Reform, at least in the polls in the short term. This is what I see happening. I think if Burnham is going to call an early election, which most of the media in England is calling him to do, most of the political parties outside of Labour are calling him to do, basically the entire people are like, hey, if you want to implement this, you got to call an election. I think he's going to do it very quickly, kind of like what Mark Carney did back in 2025. And the reason he's going to call it pretty quickly is you're going to want to like call it when your approval's high. And his approval is going to be the highest right after he becomes prime minister, because he's going to take out Starmer. Starmer's like the least popular prime minister in recent history. I think his approval is literally like 15%. It's like comedically bad. So Burnham is he's going to shoot up in approval. He's going to have a pretty high approval rating. He's going to want to take over. He's going to want to call that election very quickly if he's going to call one at all. And because again, if he doesn't, his approval is going to collapse in like 2 months, because once it finds out that people find out he's not going to magically fix the country, the whole thing's going to wear off. Kind of like what happened with Starmer. His approval was high at the beginning and then
it fell apart.
Yeah. And then he made things worse somehow. But yeah, so Burnham will probably call that early election. I think he's probably banking on Reform not being too prepared. which might be kind of what he's doing. Because again, reform will be least prepared again. Because we've got to remember, parties in the UK, it's not like running for president. You have to find individual candidates for each one of the 650 seats in Parliament. And that's what's going to be happening. That's what's going to have to happen. But I think reform will get it. They're going to run in line. Will Labor win? Probably not. I'd still say reform's probably favored.
I think reform
but
is going to win.
I think it will be a minority government either way. And we also have the Restore Britain factor. Are they going to run
Freaking
candidates
dumbasses. This started to piss
are
me
they
off
all
a
going to
little bit.
run candidates in the swing seats that'll take 4% of the vote and give Burnham the election? We'll see. I don't think they're going to have the money for that, but Elon Musk might get him the money because he's stupid and he literally endorsed parties based off like Twitter DMs and shit. It's stupid. I don't know why the richest man in the world is that dumb. But I don't think Restore is going to have the capacity to run candidates. They'll run Rupert again in Great Yarmouth. He'll win because he's like a local folk hero there. Because he's like a local businessman who just basically pays people to vote for him over there. Like he just bribes them. Like, hey, I'll build you guys like a stadium if you vote for me. That's a true story, by the way. That's kind of how he won as a reform candidate back in 2024, actually. So I think it's going to be very close. I think it'll be a minority government either way. So if Labor wins, it'll be a Labor minority propped up by the Lib Dems. If Reform wins, it'll be a minority government propped up by the Conservatives. England is very quickly becoming a multi-party system. If you take a look, it used to be solid 2 parties, and it was kind of 3 parties for a bit. Now it's going to just... You got the Greens, you got Reform, you got Conservatives, you got Labor, Lib Dems. Like it's kind of like
everybody.
a 5-party
It's
system.
a shit
And
show
the
and a half.
SNPs. The SNP is also going to do pretty good in Scotland, so they're going to serve a pretty big block as well. So, yeah. Minority government.
Object claims Keir for 5. The former Bolivia president admitted to block Keir for his protection because he doesn't want Maduro to happen to him. The left lost it. What? President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. Is Reform Party responsible for all the anarchy in the UK where it feels like a dictatorship? What does Reform have to do with anything? What?
Yeah, what?
Huh?
What?
I don't know. It's probably troll. I don't know. But Reform is no better than Labor. Oh God. Okay, yeah, the trolls are definitely out.
Yeah, that's stupid. If you think reform is that is stupid. I'm sorry. You guys sound like the Massey Bros in America who are like Trump is the exact same as the Democrats. Like that's how you guys sound. I
got
hope
a
you
perfect
guys
tweet for
realize
that.
Restore is like the Thomas Massey party of the UK. I'm
They're
sorry,
turning
it
into
is.
it. I had hopes for it, but yeah, it's a joke.
I told you guys this at the beginning, and you guys were like, "Oh, what does Luke know?" And look what happened. Or it's like, "Oh, what is Luke talking about?" Da, da, da. And then now I'm being proven right. So I told you guys. Like, I'm just saying.
Let me just pull. I got a good example for this. American Order for 2. Is the UK technically already a multi-party system? I mean, there's parties running, but it was usually only
It used
2.
to be a 3-party plus system. You'd have Conservatives, Labour, and Lib Dems, and then you'd have like the Scottish Nationals and Plaid Cymru, and then Northern Ireland. Just don't look at Northern Ireland. Like,
No, what's wrong with Northern Ireland? What's going on there?
They just got unique parties. They got like the Sinn Féin party doesn't even take their seats when they get elected. They just refuse to show up because they want Northern Ireland to be part of regular Ireland.
Oh God.
Yeah, so they don't even select to work.
California is implementing a $6 billion digital software tax.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're trying to tax software now.
Leave the Democrat states. Just get the hell out of there. There's no hope for these states. Are you serious? $6 billion? Let me look this up.
Also,
I just put the link in there.
I see it.
There would be a tax for using things like QuickBooks, Slack, Microsoft Office.
Oh my God. Yeah, right here. They're expecting a 7.5% tax statewide. Oh my God. What the hell? So yeah, right here. I found our tweet to confirm it. So yeah, the California lawmakers approved major tax changes tied to the next state budget, including a sales tax expansion for digital pre-written software and software as a service products. The software tax would start at California's 7.2% statewide rate, with higher local rates in many areas, and is expected to apply to tools like Microsoft Office. And yeah, you said that already.
By the way,
Jesus.
this is why tech companies are leaving California.
Why stay? A 7%. So wait a minute. If you
You would be charged if for every dollar you pay for. So let's say you use Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Spotify is $10 a month, right? You would have to pay an additional 70 cents to use Spotify. That doesn't sound like. I mean, that's still kind of bad.
That's bad.
But you need to keep in mind. Well, you need to keep in mind when it comes to large corporate entities who are paying, for example, for the entire Adobe software suite.
Thousands.
That is like, yeah, you're talking about literally 10,000 for a group of like 150. Congratulations, you're now paying an additional $1,000 on top of that. You're paying an additional $725 on top of a $10,000 purchase.
I mean, what the fuck are they thinking? So, okay, does it apply to software in state or what?
All software, it seems.
Jesus.
Also, back on the UK real quick,
No.
I thought I'd point this out because it's funny. The current Chief Mauser, the Downing Street cat resident, has currently lived under the past 7 prime ministers. So this cat has outlasted 7 prime ministers now.
Patriots. Okay.
It's peak.
Anyways, but yeah, so this is why people are leaving California and Washington and Oregon. Why stay in these states? What's the incentive? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, where's the money going? Anyone know?
They have abortion access.
Yeah, sure.
It's going directly into NGOs and other things that pay for illegal immigrants.
Great. Hold
You're
on.
You're gonna have to pay an additional $1 for every monthly Spotify purchase you make.
Right here, a separate health
to pay for immigrants.
What the hell? A separate health plan tax change could raise private insurance premiums by about $100 a year for individuals and $400 for a family of 4 if costs are passed through. Supporters say the money is needed to stabilize state finances and Medi-Cal funding, while business groups warn the software tax could stack through multiple layers of the economy and raise consumer prices. Yeah, no shit. We're not talking about a tiny surcharge of like 5 cents. This is 7% for every single software. Does this include like Steam? I would have to imagine. Oh my God.
Software as a service is included under this.
Jesus.
You will probably be paying an additional 7% when on a Steam purchase.
And reminder, they're saying this is a starting point. Local like counties and stuff can implement. Oh my God. So like LA or San Francisco could say it's 10%. Oh my gosh. Just get out of these states. If you live in California, leave. I'm sorry, there's no hope. I'm sorry. What can you say or do? This is insane. A 7% rate at a statewide level, and then local areas could say, no, it's 10% or 20% to fund God knows what. What the fuck? What the hell? All right, but super chats catch up to. Let's see. President Gilbert Getty up for 10. No, guys. I generally have no idea about anything about UK politics or their parties. Guys in chat, calm down. I have no idea what their political landscape looks like. Well, Reform is a new party, and they're the only hope you guys got. So, right guy for 5. Every time Oregon or Washington does something retarded, California steals the spotlight. Yeah, basically. Stand for 6. Reform UK is just a conservative party, but teal. Farage has already committed that he will not stop immigration, nor will he start deportations.
Oh my God, I'm sick of talking about Britain already. Quit with the fucking super chats about Britain. You motherfuckers know what you're doing. Shut up.
American order for 2. Make Larry the Cat of 10 Downing Street the UK Prime Minister. Real.
Yes.
Chance raising for 5. Tucker Trudy out again. Starmer's out. Vance has got a big W. Oil prices crashing. And Gallegos in hot water. Possible resignation. So much happening. Oh, we gotta talk about Arizona. Yeah, that's a big story that broke a couple days ago. We'll get to that. But I want to talk about, since it's kind of a perfect segue into something about the discourse right now, because the chat right now is kind of proving our point that some people are just never happy about anything. Like, okay, yes, reform's not perfect, but how can you say they're the same as labor?
And then if Restore became your largest party, you guys would find something to be angry about Restore for.
I have a perfect
and-
example of this, by the way.
Yeah.
So America First Insight, by the way, the official sponsors of the channel, they put up this chart yesterday where they're kind of estimating how many deportations we're having per day. And they looked at pre Big Beautiful Bill, post Big Beautiful Bill with Noam, and finally with Mark Wayne Mullen. And before the Big Beautiful Bill, we were getting around 700 deportations a day. Post that, it was around 1,400 with Noam. Now it's up to 2,400 a day with Mark Wayne Mullen, who, by the way, I'm surprised. Mark Wayne Mullen's been pretty good so far as DHS secretary. You guys agree? Yeah, I think he's been good.
He's been pretty good.
Tyrone, what do you think about him so far?
What do I think about what?
Mullen as
Mark Wayne
DHS.
Mullen?
Yeah.
I've said this before, I will say it again. The reason that we had such a bad media blitz and all that stupid shit, and the reason we couldn't have as many deportations was because Lewandowski and Noam and Bavino were the ones who were at fault with making all this fucking bullshit. The media blitz. Mark Wayne Mullen is doing what Trump wants him to do. He's actually doing what Trump and Miller wanted a fucking DHS secretary to do. Actually, I'd go as far as to say he actually trusts Mark Wayne Mullen, because Mark Wayne Mullen is capable of keeping his mouth shut and actually doing his job. Unlike Christy Dole, who just wants to be a media figure. Mark Wayne Mullen, he's focusing on shit that he gives a fuck about personally, but he's also doing the things that are objectively good for us, like silently increasing the amount of deportations done daily by over 1,000. And this is a good thing because, again, I will remind you guys what I do. I'm not ICE. I'm not explicitly ICE, but I know the guys there. I work with the government. This approach is better. There's less protests nationwide. I don't know if you guys have been following the news. There's basically no protests. There haven't been any violent attempts on anybody's life. None of that fucking shit. There haven't been any immigrants or officers hurt ever since Mark Wayne Mullen has become secretary.
Yeah. He's listen, I was skeptical first, but man, he does his job. That's all I give a shit about. If you do your job as the DHS secretary, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, you're deporting people, you keep your mouth shut. The messaging's been pretty good. Which, again, I get what Noam was trying to do. They were trying to increase voluntary departures. I get that, but it failed. You still got to do actual deportations. And we weren't getting that.
The amount of voluntary deportations done under Mark Wayne Mullen is actually higher than those done under Christy Noam. People aren't fucking scared to go do it anymore because it's not a fucking thing in the news.
But yeah, and for those that are wondering how they got this number, again, it's more of an estimate, but it's based on two factors I got to pull up here. One is the fact that these removal flights that we hear about, it's basically doubled since Mark Wayne Mullen took over. Look at this. The final month of Noam was like 180 flights. And under Mark Wayne Mullen in April and March, or May, excuse me, it was 300. So do the math on that. And the other one is this, where basically we're having more agreements with these local areas, these task force, the 287G program, which basically, for those that don't know, it's a program that allows local areas to help with ICE deportations and stuff. So yeah, it's a big deal. It's going up. But the point is, we're seeing more deportations objectively. Voluntary departures are up. These removal flights are surging. And there's a report from, I think, the New York Post a couple days ago, where it's like the Dallas housing market's crashed or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Within the next 2 years, expect the price of houses to go down by about 30-ish%, simply because illegal immigrants are driving it up. Well, it's illegal immigrants. It's always been illegal immigrants.
I wonder why they're gone. I wonder. But anyways, so the point is, we're getting a lot more flights. We're getting a lot more of these local agencies. They're helping with ICE. But here's
it's almost
like,
hear me out. Here's this crazy idea, right? It's almost like local agencies are willing to cooperate with the federal government when the person who's in charge of the program being done at the time is not making a big fucking deal out of it and saying, we're going to go after the violent insurrectionists who are violently targeting our guys. Like, Nobody wants to fucking willingly work with an agency that has the person in charge of it openly admitting, yeah, no,
We're gonna
we got
shoot
people pulling
people.
guns on us. We're going to shoot other people. We got all this shit happening. You're fucking crazy if you think someone's going to accept that. I'm sorry. Which is why, with Mark Mullen making things quieter, more acceptable, more under the radar, less under the radar, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Wow, it's almost like people who had initial hesitations are now willing to deal with it.
They don't give a shit. Funny how that works. But okay. Oh, good. People were saying this is propaganda. And this is what I want to get to because you mentioned Bavino, Tyrone, right?
Yes.
He was in the comments of this tweet, by the way. And, well, I got it pulled up here. This random account said, looks like America First Insight is another propaganda arm for the establishment pushing the left's narrative. First of all, what? Tyrone, are deportations a leftist issue? That's the first I've heard of. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah. I mean, they're a leftist issue insofar as like they're against it, I guess.
Yeah, he has claimed this guy somehow us saying there's more deportations under Mark Wayne Mullen than Kristi Noem is somehow a leftist narrative. Huh?
Okay, if you believe any of this, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, your good friend Greg Bavino said, yep, he agrees. And here's another tweet where he said the same thing. It's just these people are nuts. Like, I used to like
They're
Bavino, but
grifters.
The more I heard about this guy, it's insane. But like, look at this right here. False. Jail arrested targeted enforcement numbers fail. Illegal aliens once again walk the streets with impunity with zero self-deportations. Quit carrying the water for failure and surrender. What? When did Bavino retire or got forced out?
Earlier this year.
So how the fuck would he know this? How? How would he know? Oh, it's a scam, guys.
He wouldn't. He's grifting. Again, he's just grifting. That's all it is. That's all it is.
This is just...
It's all fucking grifting.
Yeah, it's a giant scam. But the point is, that's the issue with the discourse. The same thing's going on in the chat right now. People are saying, no, we're not. Again, we need more deportations. But every metric you can look at, the housing market magically crashing in some areas, a bunch of people just vanishing off the streets, removal flights are surging. We're signing all these agreements with these agencies. Everything is surging since Mark Wayne Mullen took power. And this is an estimate. It might be off by a couple hundred a day. Whatever. The point is, no matter what you say or do, it's never enough. We could deport 50 million people, and you know what these people would say? The first thing they would say?
No, I don't actually.
It's not enough. We need 100 million. Then we reach 100 million? No, we need 200 million. It never ends.
we need to deport half the fucking country, bro.
Yeah, half the population are illegal immigrants.
I mean, I agree, frankly. I'm a deportation extremist. I think 100 million people should be removed. But the difference between me and someone who's not as smart as me is that I recognize, and a lot of people like me also recognize, that this is still an unprecedented series of first steps in the right direction. And while, yes, you should absolutely want more, immediately turning the fuck out and saying, oh, we're not doing anything, it's over, we'd elect a Democrat, we need to accelerate, you're stupid. You're precisely the exact kind of idiot that they want siding with them, that they want on the right side, on the right wing, because you're going to immediately fucking roll over and just take it up the fucking ass when these people do what they want.
Yeah. It's just wild to think that, like, no matter what happens, it's never enough. Again, you could say you want more, but guys, how can you look at what's going on here? I mean, the DOJ, they announced just a couple days ago, yeah, we're going to denaturalize a few hundred people more than expected. They're ramping up denaturalizations as we speak. Not 5 or 6 people. We're talking about hundreds. They're about to denaturalize.
Yeah, but you keep in mind, right? Like, here's the thing with that. They're not immediately deporting 100 million people. Yeah. So, like, it's basically the same. It's basically the same thing as a Kamala Harris presidency, if you think about it.
And not just for terrorism. That's the only time we denaturalize people. No terrorists.
We're doing this for fraud.
Yeah, fraudsters, the scam artists, the people that steal money from poor people. They're getting denaturalized. And there's hundreds of them. They're doing this in batches. First, it was a couple. They were testing the waters to see how far they could go. Now it went up to a couple dozen. Now it's a few hundred. What do you think the next step is? A constant flood of denaturalizing people that should not be here. Is this the same as voting for Democrats? Man, I'm sure Gavin Newsom would denaturalize all these people, right? I'm sure.
Like Gavin Newsom just definitely wouldn't reinstate USAID and all these other things that the Democrats have been abusing to allow immigrants to bring their families back over and use widespread, unprecedented use of the executive branch in the Justice Department to issue mass pardons to illegal immigrants who were here and just bring them all back in like Biden.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's stupid. All right. K-Cupper 5. Noam is a girlfriend who always films and posts her life on social media. Mullen is a boyfriend who barely appears, but is the reason the roof is overhead. Oh gosh. Thanks for super chat. President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. It's a leftist narrative because he's actually doing his job. Right-wing grifters. Yeah. Mullen is doing his damn job. And that's a weird thing. Remember when all these idiots say they're not going to fall for fake news anymore, and they're upset they're not seen on the news, that people were getting deported? So they're mad because of it. Is that strange?
There are two branches of the executive government.
That's funny how that works.
That should be quiet no matter what. There are two branches where the people in charge of the various agencies should be quiet no matter what's happening. The Secretary of Defense or Secretary of War now, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and the defense and the Director of Homeland Security.
Yeah, I agree.
Those are the two. DHS and DOW, those are the two secretaries that should keep their mouths shut regardless of what's happening. Because Homeland Defense, National Intelligence, the military, what our troops are doing, what our law enforcement internally is doing, those are two things you should bring as little attention to as possible, regardless if you like it or not.
But Tyrone,
because shut the fuck up, let me finish.
Sorry.
Because the moment you start politicizing these things, the moment you start turning these into major issues, we've been using the same fucking Vietnam War anti-war slogans for fucking 60, 70 years now.
6, 7.
We've been doing the same bullshit for over half. Like the slogans being used to protest this war in Iran. Like what? Americans have been so thoroughly one-shot by Vietnam. They've been one-shot by Al Qaeda. They've been one-shot by
Iraq.
All of this fucking war bullshit, all of this national security bullshit, 9/11, that DHS, the military, they have to be open in the like. This shit gets politicized when the men who are putting their lives, men and women, unfortunately, but mostly men who are putting their lives on the line.
Yeah.
Whether it's internal security, law enforcement, fighting foreign adversaries, you're disrespecting them and you are spitting in their faces by making this a political issue, which is why I hate Kristi Noem. It's why I hate Pete Hegseth. It's why I think Hegseth should resign after this stupid fucking war. Which is why I also appreciate Mark Wayne Mullen for shutting up. He's not a Trump yes man, but he does what Trump tells him to do because he understands that's his job. Trump put him there to do his job. Trump put him there to do a job. He does it better. And now he can pursue all his fucking pet projects. Like, I don't know if y'all know much about Mark Wayne Mullen. I'm a huge UFC fan. I'm a huge MMA fan. He has been going after that shit for the longest fucking time. And now he's actually going to be able to reform fighter law. Wow. Fucking amazing. I mean, I've more or less said what I think. But yeah. I think Mark Wayne Mullen is doing fantastic. He's doing a good job. Can't wait to see how many more deportations we see daily under him. I personally can attest that, yeah, things have shaken up. I'm not going to say how they've shaken up on stream, but in terms of my day-to-day and what I see happening, yes, the change in approach is working fantastically.
Because they're doing both. They're not just banking on voluntary departures, which I get it. Voluntary departures, that's the easiest way to do it, but you got to do both. You can't just say, oh, we do one and that's it. No, do both. But do it to smart. Do it like Tom Homan says. Do it in targeted, isolated. Don't just shit of, oh, we're gonna go down the street and arrest everybody we see and really only arrest like 2 people. No, that's stupid. So, all right, couple more super chats catch up to. Let's see. Chance is raising for 5. If Levin keeps attacking Vance, Trump will do the same thing to him that he did to Tucker and Alex Jones, as well as he should. Levin's a loudmouth fool. I hope he does. Fuck Levin. That guy gotta get deported. Like, he's one of the people that should be deported. They're each
Deport Mark Levin to
yeah.
Israel.
Yeah. Well, hey, he loves Israel more than America. Go ahead. Get out of here. K-Cup for 2. You want a funny content? Check out the Democrats deliver. What? I don't know what that is. America noted for 2. Mueller's a better DHS secretary than a senator. I agree. As a senator, he was just, I don't know, not the best. America noted for 2. If Hegseth leaves, then who should replace him? That I don't know.
Not a Fox News host, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we should be putting alcoholics in charge of our soldiers. Personally,
I think he's been better than you say, but whatever. We can disagree on that.
No, he really
hasn't. Just my opinion.
Well, you also aren't actually in service right now. You don't talk to servicemen whose lives have been made worse by him doing stupid bullshit.
I get it.
But that's something I'll be talking about on sometime later this week on the Great Lakes Perspective After Show Tyrone Talks. Definitely working on that. I will let you guys know when I will start having my own show, but that's coming soon.
All right, by the way, we had some breaking news a little bit ago that broke. So apparently, Trump's administration is about to do another crackdown on green cards. Right here.
J1 visas?
Let's see. A single 6-page memo from U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services just rewrote the playbook for the most common pathway to green card in America. The memo labeled blah, blah, blah was signed May 21st, posted to the USCIS website the next day. An alien who is in the United States temporarily and wants a green card. Oh, I think it's already broke. Yeah, you need to return to your home country. And basically it makes it where you want a green card, you got to go get out of here, basically. So, just random news that just broke a little bit ago. Yeah, an alien who is in the United States wants a green card, must return to their home country, which
this is going to destroy Indian immigration to the United States.
Yeah, that's fucking common sense. Why is that not a thing in the first place? If you want a green card,
Obama.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, just Obama.
No, unironically, Obama. He was the one who liberally reformed all of this immigration law.
But guys, Trump is no different than Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris, guys. He's the same. He's gonna staple green cards to the diplomas. Yeah, I'm sure of that. But it just goes to show you that changes are happening. Everybody, if you want to like look at what's happening with the immigration stuff, look up all the changes USCIS has made in the last 3 years, or I should say last 2 years or so. That is the immigration enforcement. They're cracking down on everything. But you show people the information, they say, no, it's fake, or no, it's not far enough. It's just, it never ends. But anyways, so enough of that. It's kind of a quick story that broke. I want to talk about Colombia because there was a pretty big election that occurred in Colombia yesterday. And isn't it very strange that U.S. aid magically disappears and out of nowhere, all of these countries in Latin and South America, they magically elect conservatives or right-wing figures. Isn't that strange? So yeah, U.S. aid had a pretty big election, or not U.S. aid, good lord, but Colombia.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, U.S. aid did have a big election in 24.
That's true, yeah. So yeah, Colombia, they had a big election and the right winner won. They're trying to play games. The president's saying Israel stole. Actually, I'm gonna pull the tweet up. I'm gonna fucking pull it up. You just can't make this shit up. Does this remind you of certain sloppulous in America that says the same thing?
Thomas Massey.
Yeah, it's the same shit. Yeah, right here. This may remind some people of some stuff. It's the same shit you hear in America. This just proves us a lot of this stuff with like the Israel bad, which again, I'm not the biggest fan of Israel. This just proves it's literally just third world slop. Right here. I warned this is the president of Colombia, or former president. I warned that the software of the Batista brothers was vulnerable according to 2018, blah, 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 blah. It's just nonsense about it's insecure. They have these IP addresses across the world. But right here, this means that the software was compromised and others wrote data for polling stations and voting posts. The only entity in the world capable of doing that is the state of Israel. Tyrone, Israel's the only country that could steal elections.
Hold on. I'm going to rip my fucking skin off my face. Holy shit. I'm so sick of hearing about Israel.
I will pass to the judges with precision to change servers so that they conduct the expert audit of the electoral software that has not been carried out, to do it in a very process of scrutiny. Oh my gosh. So, you're telling me that Israel, they're the only country on earth that can rig this election. And first of all, why would they rig an election in Colombia? That's the first question.
The Jews on their way to be involved for literally everything ever.
But if they were going to interfere in Colombia elections, why don't they interfere in every election? And if they're able to magically flip the results like this, why don't they flip the results of every election on Earth to be the best case scenario for them? Like, what? Yeah, and why would Israel even care about Colombia? That's my question. What does Colombia provide to Israel? Anything?
Colombia doesn't give anything to anybody except drugs.
Yeah, I'm sure. But guys, I'm sure that's what this is about. Israel wants the drugs, guys. They want the
Israel
drug trade
wants
to
the drug trade to perpetuate, bro.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Zachary Gallagher for 20. Keir Starmer's worse than Biden and many other woke Democrats. Yes, I agree. America Noted for 6. If Tulsi's husband didn't have cancer, I think she could be a decent replacement for Hegseth at the Pentagon. No. She was fine at DNI, but as Secretary of Defense, I don't think so. K-Cup for 2.
No, I personally don't think Gabbard should be allowed near anything again, considering it just came to light she was part of a cult that was actively influencing what she did as DNI.
Wait, what?
You didn't read about that?
No, the first time I heard about this. Wait, what?
Holy shit. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Wait, what? Hold up. I'm going to read some more super chats when you get that. K-Cup for 2. So how's the ousted leader calendar looking right now? A lot of people were ousted. American Nerd for 2. Does Israel even give a crap about Colombia? No, they don't. What? So Tyron, what's this about a death cult? What?
Do you know what the Hare Krishna are?
I know a little bit.
Yeah. Here's the article. Basically, she's part of a Hindu. She's part of an esoteric Hinduism cult named the Hare Krishnas that
I can't pull up because the Washington Post, but what?
Yeah.
The fuck? I can't pull it up sadly because it's the
she's basically an esoteric Hindu convert. And she's been listening to this dude like her entire career, and they have very, very, very interesting messages.
Yeah, I got the I have part of it here. Funny enough, Richard Hanina actually posted it. So
you mean Hanania?
Hanania, excuse me. Josh for 5. Trump's first term was all about Russia, but now it's all about Israel. Yeah, basically. Zachary Gallagher for 5. Is John Thune a solid leader? No.
No.
Okay, I got it pulled up here. Oh my gosh. When I asked Salzberg about this, she seemed amused. It was Butler, of course, she said. No one else could speak to Gabbard like that, she added. Salzberg said the memos were unattributed precisely to Max Butler's identity. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, the files she shared ran to more than 25,000 pages, including hundreds of memos reflecting guidance for Gabbard between 2011 and 2017, most from her first 2 terms in Congress. In the months to come, the documents would reveal that some of the same SIF members who received the memos were involved in a separate effort that used fake social media accounts to boost and defend Gabbard online. What the hell? So it's like wait, what?
Yeah.
Before all that occurred, I compared the content of the memos against Gabbard's record in the House, and I found unmistakable parallels. The main speaker in the 2014 memo pressed for her to propose legislation penalizing countries and citizens who had fought for the Islamic Republic and issue a statement about it. Get it started in the morning, the person said. You need to be the leader in this regard. Don't dick around. I found that Gabbard released a statement the following day, a week after she introduced a bill in the House. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Hold up, what? So basically, she was in this death cult thing, like this weird Hindu. What was it? A Hindu cult?
Yeah, an esoteric Hindu cult.
Oh my god! An October 12th, 2015 memo labeled CNN Wolf Blitzer talking points contained this language about reports that she had been asked by Democrat leadership not to attend a presidential debate. It's not a boohoo, I don't get to the party situation, Wolf. I dug up the clip of her appearance that day and found that she had used that line almost verbatim. The issue here is not about me saying boohoo. I'm not going to miss the party. Holy shit. The memos reflect
Main reason she got kicked out. One of the main reasons she got kicked out of the Dem party, by the way. Her cult was her little religious thing. They're rather Islamophobic because, surprise, Hindus don't like Muslims.
Oof. The memos reflected exacting judgment of Gabbard's performances. The same unnamed speaker who vented about the eye thing also criticized her for seeming insincere. According to the transcript of those remarks, it's like she's trying to express something artificially. I don't feel anything from her, the speaker complained. It's more like kind of remembering talking points. Another memo circulated to members of the team on the eve of Fox News interview documented a 75-minute call between an unnamed person and Gabbard that went on until 10:46 p.m. in Washington. According to a transcript, now all you need is a good night's sleep, knowing that no matter how badly you fuck it up, that me and Krishana still love you, the unnamed advisor told her. What the hell? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Scientology a little bit. Am I wrong for saying that? Like,
well, I mean, you need to keep in mind she's been actively Hindu all her life. Her parents were hippie converts, and she
I'm not saying she's
like she prevented a copy of the Bhagavad Gita to Modi in 2014 when a bunch of Dims visited India. We have
yeah, I get that, but like this reminds of Scientology where like everything you do is like scripted, and like you do one wrong thing, you step on line, you're fucked. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. This is a Hindu Mormonism. Oh my gosh. This is wild. I wish I could see the full article, but no, the freaking Washington Post, whatever. It's dumb. Man, that's bad. American Murder for 2. So was Tulsi was never as good as we thought. I wouldn't go that far. This is weird. You should not be a part of this weird cult like this and be a part of government. That's bad.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I hold rather restrictionist views of non-Christians in government, but especially those of a religion that has only really been here for realistically the past 40, 50 years. I do unfortunately have to get going.
All right, adios.
Yeah, see y'all.
All right. President Gilbert Giddy up for 5. At least the name isn't as shitty made up death cult name like the Beekeepers. You know, that's a good point. It's not the killer bees or the beekeepers or whatever. It's just a random ass cult. They just call like something generic. I just can't get over this. Like, so you're telling me that she was like her entire thing was scripted. I gotta read more of this. I don't have access to it because the freaking Washington Post, but still. From what I'm seeing right here, that's not a good sign for her. This is a while ago. Yeah, but here's the issue with these type of cults. It's like Scientology. You never leave. You can leave, but you're never really gone. That's the issue. That's bad. And this wasn't like 20 years ago. This was freaking not even 10 years ago. K cover 5. I remember us talking about the RFK stories back in the summer of 24. Suddenly, him and his brain eating parasite are more normal than Tulsi's cult. Yeah. I don't know. This is weird. Like, so basically, like, everything she was doing was scripted. Obviously, like, all politicians, they have some kind of scripting stuff. I get that. But making, like, every appearance, like, she gets talking points for what she has to say. Like it says right here. Huh. I don't know. I'm gonna look up the rest of the story. There's gotta be more. What the fuck? I gotta find it. Yeah, the Washington Post has a block. This is stupid. Absolutely dumb. What kind of crazy shit are they doing in Hawaii? Well, Hawaii is a very unique state. Everyone knows that. But yeah, it's what the fuck's going on here? Yeah, it's just wild. Yeah, so like it was this weird cult, and this cult leader was like controlling her and stuff. I get like, but that reminds me of Scientology. And like, what's up with Butler? It just randomly says Butler 1984. Oh God, not the 84 jokes. No, this is mind blowing. It kind of is, because if that was all bullshit, if Tulsi Gabbard from 2011 to like 2020 was horseshit, that's not a good sign. Great Lake politics for 2. I'm back. Oh shit, you're back. Well, Luke, I was about to just end the stream a little bit, but
I don't care, bro. I'll come on for 10 minutes and I just give you a $2 donation. So.
thank you. But yeah, hear
keep
about the Tulsi
going up.
Gabbard death cult? Hear about that?
What happened with Tulsi Gabbard? What's going
So
on?
Tulsi Gabbard, she apparently was in a death cult, or not really death cult, but just some kind of weird Hindu nationalist cult in like like 10 years ago. And basically they controlled her and like controlled her talking points and everything.
Yes, did she leave it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't fucking know if she left it or not. It's kind of vague. This is from like 5 years ago, I guess, or 10 years ago. But it's like they compare like her transcripts to what she was saying like on the air, and it's like word for word what they wanted her to say.
Okay, it's from Richard Hanania.
No, it just that was the place where you get the screenshots, because it's a Washington Post article.
I see. Richard Hanania.
Yeah. President Gilbert getting up for 5. I thought Tulsi was a Hawaiian native with a native religious background. I actually don't know what religion.
No, she's ethnic.
Yeah.
She's half English, half Indian. Her dad's English, her mom's Indian.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Where we at? Zachary Gallagher for 20. Name one current Democratic governor doing better than a Republican. I mean, Bill Edwards before he retired, but
I mean, Jared Polis has been good for a state economically.
yeah, I mean, it's either Polis or Shapiro. Better than like there's a couple really shit Republican governors.
Certainly not my governor or our governor, I should say.
Better than like the guy in Idaho. What's his name again? What's a dumbass's name in Idaho? The governor. He's awful.
Oh my shit, I forgot.
Oh my god, what's his name? Probably better than like that, like Shapiro or like Polis.
He was the guy who was his lieutenant governor tried primarying him out.
Brad
right?
Little. Yeah, that's his name. Brad Little.
Brad Little.
And Phil Scott. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, Polis and Shapiro better than Phil Scott. So. Stitt is just a dumbass. I don't know.
I'm gonna say Kelly Ayotte sucks to anger one person who I will not name who is watching this.
Oh, God. Yeah, I would say, yeah, Brad Little's probably the second worst, and Phil Scott's bottom.
Kelly
Obviously.
Ayotte's a shit governor. She vetoed the trans ban, even
Yeah.
like for kids. She's shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, Shapiro and Paulus are probably better than them, but yeah. K-Cop for 5. Also, Luke and Rap. Did you guys see Evers at the Juneteenth event while wearing the Brewers jersey? The dude looked like a lost little kid. Not kidding. No, I didn't see that. Are you streaming the primaries tomorrow? Yeah, you should be live for that.
Dude, that's gonna be a shit show because I've heard different things. One thing I will say, I heard there was higher youth turnout than usual, which means I think Zohran's picks are probably gonna sweep, including the weird one, the
I know who you're talking
Haitian-
about.
Yeah, it's funny. The incumbent Democrat is actually calling her a Haitian, because it's a very Dominican district. So he's saying
that's how you fight back. Like that's how you attack people in that district.
Yeah, bro. So Trump isn't allowed to say the Haitians are eating cats and dogs, but this guy is able to say, "Hi, my opponent's Haitian. Vote for me." I know, it's very funny. Very funny shit. I want these Zohran types to win. They're gonna make the Dems look bad shit.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a pro-Russian Democrat. She supports like Russia's
Wait,
invasion.
what?
Yeah. The one, the lady who's being accused of being Haitian. Yeah, she supports Russia's invasion because it's like anti-imperialist or something. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we got some funny news that broke a little while ago. So it's related to Ilhan Omar, and so everybody remembers when she she claimed she had all these assets that came out of nowhere. It was like $30 million of net worth or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, now magically, right here, a new filing has listed her assets between $20,000 and $125,000, which is a big difference from just like 5 months ago, where they were claiming, yeah, we have a $30 million net worth. Where did the money go? Luke, where did the money go? The $30 million.
Went to Al Carbo's Pizza Hut order.
God. Yeah. So out of nowhere, magically her assets vanished. Just gone. Gone for good. No one's ever gonna see it again. And apparently her husband's net worth fell apart. A reported income between $200 and $1,000. What? And despite that low income, MyNetNet's company, Rose Lake Capital, reported income between $100,000 and $1 million. This is fucking fraud.
Uh-oh. We got some...
This is fucking fraud right here. Yeah, freaking they're making $5 in income, but their company's worth this much money. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Rap.
What?
It looks like the Dems are starting the clean out phase of the Democratic primary in Wisconsin for governor.
Why? What happened?
Missy Hughes has dropped out and endorsed Rodriguez. Don't be shocked if you see more of these candidates drop out and endorse Rodriguez.
Oh no, anyways.
To stop Hong, because they're in panic mode about Hong.
Hong Patriots. Time to activate.
You're gonna be cross-partying, Rap?
I don't know, we'll see. Let's see here. Probably went to family in Somalia. Yeah, the money just vanishes, guys. American Order for 2. What primaries are tomorrow? Can't keep up. I actually don't know. It's New York, I know is one.
New York, South Carolina, Utah. By the way, Celeste Malloy might get primaried up by Phil Lyman. That's
Good.
one to watch.
Patriots. Yeah. Utah Patriots. Get rid of her. She was better than that. Oh, God. Who did she run against in 24? Oh, what's her name? She was like that Democrat that ran as a Republican and nearly won.
That was in the special election.
Yeah.
Becky Edwards.
Becky Edwards. That's right.
Like, that name just sounds like she's going to be a problem.
Yeah, know? For those that don't remember, Becky
Edwards,
she was unironically to the left of some Democrats. And she nearly won. It was insane. But she thankfully lost to a shit Republican. You know it's bad when we're rooting for shit Republicans instead.
Oh, yeah, Maryland is also tomorrow. Maryland,
yeah.
New York, South Carolina, and Utah. And then this Saturday is the Louisiana runoff.
Yeah, I hope...
Then next week is Colorado, and then we have a huge break until July 21st when Arizona.
Oh god, they're gonna take forever to count votes. Fun. All right.
Do you have any interesting primaries in Arizona this year? Like any?
I don't know. Now, I don't think this the governor primary a little bit.
Well, yeah,
Maybe.
Biggs is gonna get 70%. Like,
Yeah. Chances raising for 2. Let's talk about Gallego. I think he's cooked. There's been reporting he might get forced out. I don't think he's going to though. But there's a scandal brewing apparently with like some of the finance stuff. We'll see. But hopefully he does resign and we have a special election in Arizona.
again, Arizona needs to have a Senate election every 2 years. It
Come
can't not.
on. We want it.
Maybe this time we could win it. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's kind of it for today. If you guys did enjoy today's stream, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. We'll see you guys in the next stream, video, or wherever you see us at. Godspeed to all of you.
all of you.